Hey, I hope you're all doing great. So for the first Bible study, what I wanted to do is kind of share one of my very first awesome experiences with the Word. I had just moved to Colorado in January 2020, and by March 2020, everything was going awesome. I was in Charis Bible College, everything was going great, and then when COVID happened and then everything shut down, could no longer go onto campus, a lot of things were going on. I had a bunch of time to spend studying the Word. I actually spent about 9 hours a day just reading the Bible nonstop. And one of the very first verses that really stuck out to me was in the book of Ecclesiastes. And this is really, really beneficial for me at the time, because if you were to just look around, you could easily reason within yourselves like, man, I missed it. Either I missed the will of God or I missed something, which I'm sure a lot of you have found yourself in that same position. But Ecclesiastes 11:4 really helped give me a lot of comfort, a lot of reassurance, and it gave me a lot more confidence in that I was doing the right thing. So Ecclesiastes chapter 11, I'm actually going to start at verse 3. Verse 3. It starts by saying, "If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the tree falls toward the south or toward the north, and the place where the tree falls, there it shall be." Now, what this is talking about is just that you don't know where the clouds are going to drop the rain. The clouds are constantly moving, and there's no real way to say that a cloud is going to give rain on this specific plot of land at any given time. And what can happen a lot is when we're trying to prepare for the future, there's a big hole in our knowledge that we just can't predict the future. We can't predict to a T what's going to happen. And likewise, when it talks about how the tree falls to the north or the south, and that wherever the tree falls, that's where it lays, that's talking about how things that happened in the past, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. All that matters is that you can't change what happened in the past. If the tree fell to the north, it fell to the north, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's already happened in the past, and there's no point in trying to change it. So there's no point in trying to predict the future because you can't predict it, and there's no point in trying to change the past because you can't change it. And that leads us into verse 4. It says, "He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap." And this is talking about someone who's constantly trying to look ahead and trying to make the right decision based off of what they see. This is the person who's constantly looking at the clouds, and they have a handful of seeds, and they're looking at the clouds wondering, where should I plant my seeds so that they get rain? The problem is that we don't know where the cloud is going to give the rain. And if you're constantly looking at the clouds, constantly trying to predict the future and wait for the right circumstances to do something, those seeds will stay in your hand and they'll never get planted in the ground. And if we see that it says, "And he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap." So because you're focused too much on the clouds, focused too much on the future, focused too much on trying to do the right thing, you never even had the time to plant your seeds into the ground. And because of that, there's never a chance to reap something. And that's what a lot of us find ourselves in, is that you want to change the past. You instead of the tree falling to the north, it would have been better if it fell to the south, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's in the past and you can't change it. And in a lot of ways too, I'm also guilty of this, is looking into the future and really trying to do the right thing at the right moment. But there's never going to be the perfect circumstances, the perfect time, the perfect anything. The only thing that matters is what the Holy Spirit is saying to you at any given moment. Now, Ecclesiastes is written to someone who doesn't have the Holy Spirit and someone who doesn't really have a relationship with God that they can talk about, that they can talk through these things. But when you factor in that you have the Holy Spirit who you can talk to, you'll see that these concerns are no longer matter. The Holy Spirit's there to reassure you that the past is in the past and that whatever did happen in the past has been forgiven. And also too, you can also ask the Holy Spirit about what's going to happen in the future, what's to come. That's one of his jobs, is to show you what's to come. And that with this, if you grow in a relationship with the Holy Spirit, I've had many moments where the Holy Spirit has given me direction on things to start preparing for, things to start doing, things to start meditating on, looking forward to. And this has saved my butt a lot of times. There are many things that could have caught me off guard, but thanks to the Holy Spirit, they didn't catch me off guard. So in that same way, if you're focused on the past, focused on the future, it doesn't do you any good. In the book of Matthew, it says, can all your worrying add 1 inch to your heights? All the worrying doesn't add anything to you. All it does is take away from you. But I really encourage you to take the time to realize that the Holy Spirit's a person you can talk to. And the Holy Spirit's there for your benefit. It's there to give you comfort, to give you exhortation, and help build your confidence that you are in the right place. And so the same way that when I read these verses and it gave me a lot of comfort and confidence that I was in the right place, I would encourage you to take a look at these verses and spend some time on them. And I think that you'll find yourself in the same place too, that there'll never be perfect circumstances. There's no use in worrying about all of that. But just taking the time to talk to the Holy Spirit about what's happening and being open to listen to the Holy Spirit. And I'll find that you'll have a lot more comfort and confidence in where you're at right now. That's it for today. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.